I guess you all know why you're here, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is the MixterPlus Zoom launch of Phase 2, second event using the MixterPlus system. This one focuses on soundtracks for videos and films, video games as well. And yeah, the idea is just kind of keep the momentum going. The person we really want to hear from is probably Emily, but let's introduce the other admins just in case there are new faces. Anyone recognize SacJo22 is Susan, one of our admins. Kara Square, an admin. I believe Jason Brock is in here. All right, that's our other admin, also known as Spinning Merkaba. I'm Mwic, of course. Richard Bethel. I don't know who that is. I think I know everyone else.
That's Admiral Bob.
Oh, great. I knew there was a Richard floating around somewhere, but I did not know his full name. Welcome, Admiral Bob. I'm a longtime admirer. We're going to let Emily take over right about now. Go ahead.
I didn't send the email out to the Google group yet. Whoops. Maybe someone else could help with that while I'm talking. Yeah. Aloha kakayaka, my Hawaii, Tehea Oku. I am in Hawaii. And Scomber, thank you so much for joining us in the middle of the night. And it's good to see you wearing your CC Mixter shirt. Thank you so much, Mahalo Nui Loa. That's why the roosters are joining me, because it's still early morning here on Hawaii. We are here to announce our new event called Soundtracks Take One. And the roosters are very, very excited about this event because they are the soundtrack today for my call with you. And the sounds of nature in Hawaii create the soundtrack for our lives here. But here at CC Mixter in our community, our music creates the soundtrack for other people's lives and projects. And we understand the importance of music when it comes to other art forms, especially film and video. Before we start, I just wanted to take a moment for Lahaina, because you are my community and my people. It's very heavy on our hearts here, and many of you have been through difficult times and understand. All of our flags are at half-mast here on the islands, and every conversation always comes back to what's happened in Lahaina. So just thank you for taking a moment with me, the people here. We've gone through a pretty big shock, so thank you. You know, we know about the power of music to heal and to connect and to bring comfort. And there is a lot of music going here on the islands, lots of new songs being written, performances in honor of those who have been lost. And that there's no one who understands the power of music to heal and bring people together than this community at CC Mixter. We've done this, we've gathered and rallied around each other before over times that are difficult. I know I'm looking at you, Gary, when the fires were raging across Australia. We gathered through music and gave each other hope. And that's what soundtracks are all about. Music creates the mood. Music sets the emotion. If you've ever watched a film with just the dialogue and the music isn't there, it just feels so empty. And I think of how empty my life would be without music playing. It's great to see you, Apoxode. Did Stefan get in? I know I can see that Stefan Partenberg's been trying to get in, but he was having some
I saw him in. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Darren Apoxode is an admin now. He got a promotion last month. So there you go.
Community ambassador. And look at the shirt. Woo, woo, woo. Awesome. So soundtracks, we decided to follow up our Dreaming Together event, which was incredible. Thank you all for participating and contributing your beautiful music that Susan was able to share with this huge international dream community. Looks like Stefan's trying to get in again. We are really excited about this event, Soundtracks, as our second beta event. The importance of soundtracks, not only in our lives and to the film industry and to the video industry, is that CC Mixter, one of the most important places our music is used outside of our community, is in videos. And one of the most important ways that we sustain our community and we're able to pay y'all a few little royalties here and there is because our music is featured in so many videos, especially on YouTube. And unfortunately, what happened with the Google ban of Creative Commons licensed music is a lot of the attribution for our music and videos was broken and even blocked. But I just wanted to screen share with you just to show you just a couple of our two most used songs in YouTube. One of them is I Don't Know by Grapes. And there used to be videos here with millions of views. Those have been blocked. The attribution has been blocked. Other people have illegally claimed to own the song, which is just heartbreaking, which is part of the reason why we created MixterPlus. So we're finding opportunity in this challenge. But as you can see, 439,000 views, 436,000 views, 166,000 views. This is the most utilized song from the CC Mixter library on YouTube. And Jay Lang has very graciously donated a significant portion of the royalties that he earned from this back to our community to help us keep operating. The second most used song from our library on YouTube is also features Jay Lang and Airtone. So, sorry, this one's Grapes. This one is Jay Lang, forgive me. And a lot of these views have dropped off. There are many, many videos that had millions of views, but because of the ban and illegally taking over our attribution, those unfortunately don't show up anymore with the proper attribution when you search. So part of the reason here we are, MixterPlus, we're creating a library of music where attribution can follow, because we're not using Creative Commons licenses. We have no choice. We have to use a different license so we can have our attribution follow our music, which is, as we say, attribution is currency, incredibly important. And I think we all feel that way. Like our music, we want it. We don't want someone else pretending to be us. It's pretty frustrating. So we're intentionally creating a library of music that we will intentionally circulate to other creators. And by so doing, build a creator community, one layer out from our community in this beta test. So that is part of our aim. And Kara's going to get to that in 1 second about some ideas on how we're going to build that creator community. But we'd love your input and suggestions. And even if you know people that are looking for music for films, like Chef just showed us this film contest, we're going to have a lot of ideas. We're going to build small and start keeping the list. But that's a really exciting opportunity, we feel, for creating music that becomes that soundtrack that creates the mood for other people's creatives, that creativity that is visual. Just an important reminder in the MixterPlus library, it needs to stay human without AI. AI plugins are okay, but there are a couple of reasons why. One, we don't want to be in any sort of gray area when it comes to content ID. And right now, I don't know if this happened.
That was Stefan's screen.
I guess I didn't. Hey, nice to see you, Stefan.
Can you do that? Can you share other people's screens?
I didn't do it. I didn't realize that it's set up that way. So I guess I didn't. I guess I have that enabled as a setting that anyone can screen share, which is cool. So back to the AI issue, because I don't know if you're following, but in the United States, there are a lot of strikes happening right now. Copyright law still does not allow copywriting of AI content. So because this is a copyrighted library with liberal licensing, we need to be able to have free and clear, no confusion copyright. That's what happened with Creative Commons licenses. People were like, is there a copyright or not? Even though there was, the community at large didn't think there was. And so that's why Google banned Creative Commons licenses, because they felt it was confusing. So that's why we don't want to have AI content in the MixterPlus library, because we can't risk getting banned again. So thank you for honoring that. Maybe that will change eventually, but right now we have to let the world figure this out. So we're going to just err on the side of being conservative and staying human for right now. For those of you who just joined, we're building an incredible library. I know you're all so incredibly capable of sharing your creativity and, you know, being part of this grand experiment of let's create music that other people can utilize to become the soundtrack of their lives and the soundtrack of their project. So I'm going to pass it to Kara, because she's going to share with you some ideas that she's already started building on how we're going to take this library that we build and then share it with that next community out. So Kara, it's all you.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's so great to see everyone here.
Yeah, look at that. This is like an all-star cast Zoom call, man.
Right?
We've got great people. Thank you.
This is beautiful. I love it. Okay.
Hi, Martin.
Yes, Martin's here. Okay, so we need to build a creator community. Because of what we've already talked about with Mixter music being used so much in YouTube, the place our creator community starts is going to be YouTube for MixterPlus as well. So we're going to fix what was broken with CC Mixter and make it awesome and work better. So that's the goal, right? So first, we need to get our music in the hands of creators. So right now, Mwic is working so hard to make the MixterPlus site work splendidly for all of us, for the musicians. It's going to take a little time to do the same thing for creators, but that will come. That is our vision. So we need a place for people to download music, and Mixter.plus isn't it yet. So we had to come up with some things, and we decided to do something else that we've already done to a degree, which is utilize Patreon. So we started a MixterPlus Patreon that really is geared towards content creators. It's getting the music in their hands, so they're making videos so we can claim those videos through Content ID, which will help bring in some revenue for all of us, as well as make that attribution follow on those videos automatically. So I'm going to show you what we've built on Patreon thus far. But I have to screen share, and let's make it right here. Share sound, share, and here we go. So you should see the Patreon screen here. So the first thing we have here is the content creator level here, $5 a month. You know, obviously that sounds low, but our goal isn't necessarily to make money on Patreon. It's really to get the music used in YouTube, because that's where we're going to make money. So we didn't want a monthly fee that was going to be unattainable for, you know, just some people that, you know, might monetize their channel, but not have that, maybe might not be their whole thing. So we started this here. We did make a musician tier as well. Largely, this is if you want to contribute monthly to this project of MixterPlus in this way. Don't feel pressured to do so. You're contributing your music, but this is an option. One little benefit that we think could be pretty cool, if you like this idea, is your music will be prioritized for videos. So this segues into what we're doing over on YouTube. If you were part of, excuse me, now you see my whole insane icon screen. I can't see, I'm so sorry. Let's see here. Zoom like has a little bar at the top, so I can't see what I need to click on. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. So when we did Dreaming Together, I made a video for every single mix that was created. So we had 74 mixes, 74 videos, and that is awesome. We don't know if we can promise a video for every single mix that hops into MixterPlus. So we're going to do as many as we can because this is how we're going to attract people to our music. But if you want your mixes prioritized, you can join on a Patreon and have your videos prioritized when we make videos. Have your music prioritized when we make videos. There we go. That's what it is. Plus, there's a couple other little perks there. So we're doing that. And then you're probably like, well, how are they going to download music? At least that would be my question. So we've got all of these different posts that curate the music for the content creators. So people will be able to go to Dreaming Together Instrumentals, for instance, and download each of these. Susan's going to talk about this in a bit. Or no, she's going to talk about the podcast in a bit. But any music in the Dreaming Together project that featured the IASD Dreamers is on this list. Tony Ten Fingers mixes are on this mix. And then we'll get back to this. And then we've got all of the music, all 74 tracks are listed on here. So once someone becomes a patron, they'll have access to all of this. They'll get a discount code on Spring. So anyone who becomes a patron will get 20% off anytime they want to purchase something on Spring. And so this is, and Darren, you're wearing your shirt. So yeah, so if you want to look cool like Darren, get 20% off by joining the Patreon. But yeah, so that's a perk there too. What else is on my list? So we'll have a place for people to download. Another thing, I want to talk about how we're going to get people to go from YouTube to Patreon to download the music. So the vision for this is we make videos for the mixes. The videos contain links to Patreon, to the Patreon post that has that song. Once they're there, they can join and have access to the song to then put in their video. The other cool thing with YouTube is we can make shorts, which is something that I'll do. I've done with personal projects as well. The shorts will be real quick, like use this in your video type little video snippets. And then that'll send them to the long form video, which will send them to the Patreon. So it's going to be this funnel. Another place where we're going to shout out people's music is, I want to go to this. It's going to make a sound for a second. I'm sorry, probably. It usually starts. Okay, but I'm going to click fast. The community page is another place where we can promote everyone's music. And these, once we start using them regularly, they will get some action. It's actually a really good feature. If you have a personal YouTube channel, I recommend using them as well. They've worked well for my own projects. So, for instance, we were telling people about this Zoom. So it's another place. So we can, anytime there's a song that really stands out, kind of like an ed pick, I'll be promoting that stuff through this channel because YouTube's where people are going to be using our music. So that's where we're going to do the big promotional push. Of course, Jason's got lots of plans for social media, but I'm teasing that. He'll be talking a little bit later. Okay, so we talked about YouTube, Patreon, Spring. And did I miss anything? Emily, Mwic, did I miss anything?
Well, first, I just want to thank Kara.
Yeah, I was about to do that.
She's amazing. I mean, she made 74 videos for the Dreaming Together event. She set up, the MixterPlus channels. She set up all the merch at Spring. And hey, Kara, will you drop that Spring? Maybe you should drop all these channels in the chat.
Good call, good call.
And set up the Patreon account. All these things have taken a lot of time. And Kara does this out of her complete dedication to our community because she believes in our music together. And, we could never do this without her. One of the things I wanted to mention about the MixterPlus YouTube channel is if you're a video maker, I know Chef is, Cube3 is, if you make a video featuring music from this event, we will feature your video in a featured section of our YouTube channel. And that's one of the things that we want. You know, we have track backs at CC Mixter. So we're going to create a track back incentive on our YouTube page for creators who use our music in their videos. We'll put a link and feature their video on our YouTube page. So it creates this kind of circle of appreciation. And that's also part of how we create community, is giving each other credit. So we know attribution is currency, attribution and giving credit to other people who use our music in their videos is important as we ask them to give credit to us. So that is part of how we're going to build this community. So if you set yourself, if you have a YouTube channel, I know Bjorn does, Looped, we will start featuring those videos on our channel if they use music from MixterPlus. One other really important reminder is please do not claim any of your MixterPlus music in Content ID or we will get banned again. So please, like, the MixterPlus content needs to be claimed by us. And if you do share it anywhere else, it's really important to like not be licensing it to people who might claim it as well. So if you are going to start licensing any of your MixterPlus content, I mean, we'd ask you right now while we're building this if you just wouldn't. But if you want to, email us and let's come up with, I mean, we don't want to create lockdown, right? That's what one of the things that we're working on is we want to keep our transparency, our liberal licensing, our freedom to share with this library. But there are some things that we're going to have to keep exclusive, at least for now. And that is letting MixterPlus be the distributor of the content that we create here. So we don't have the confusion that happened with Creative Commons licenses, so we don't get banned again. So we're just going to be on the side of conservative for right now. If you would help us with that, that would be great. Did you have anything on that, Kara?
Yeah, and you know, I'm gonna screen share one more time, but I need to pull something up because something that you should know is if you because we would love you. We want to encourage you to make videos for your MixterPlus mixes. That really will help promote it. And we want to share them. That is gold to have people making videos too. Something that's kind of might feel weird is you will get a copyright claim on it, and it will be for the music. And don't be scared of that. It will never be a strike. It will never be a takedown. So it's never going to affect your channel. I think those are really important things for people to know about this, but it will show up as a copyright claim. So I'm going to screen share so you see what that's like, because what I want you to see is that also happens to MixterPlus's YouTube channel. We get copyright claims because we're claiming it, we're claiming the music portion. So it's not something to be scared of. And yeah, I see Cube3 raise his hand. Let me not get off my train of thought and then we'll get to you for sure. So just what I want you to see is, for instance, the MixterPlus podcast. I'm teasing that again because Susan's going to be talking about that. But it has, oh no, copyright claim. This isn't a problem. So you click details and you'll see the content ID claim on your video doesn't affect your channel. This is not a copyright strike. This is so nice. YouTube finally made it really clear because content creators have been so confused about this. And now it's like, okay, this makes sense, right? And then the channel is not affected and it's still publicly visible. And you'll see here, it goes through each song that was claimed. And you'll see it says no impact, no impact, no impact. So something that I want to share about how this works with Content ID, and you very well might know this, but I'll just reiterate. Anytime there's a copyright claim on a video, it's a claim for the music portion of the video. So let's say MixterPlus doesn't get all the revenue generated from the video. It's not like that. We collectively get the music portion of whatever of that section of video. So there's a video portion, the visuals, and there's a music portion. So that's how it is. That's how revenue share works, which is confusing for a lot of people. But So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Cube
And
three,
just
what,
to
oh,
reiterate, so if there were like 10 songs in the video and only one was from MixterPlus, we'd only get that percentage.
boom.
The important thing is that allowing this to happen, the claim is actually what creates the attribution.
Boom, right there.
And so content ID, for years, we've been trying to get Google to automate attribution, and content ID is their answer. And so we are trying to conform to their requirements. So I think, Chef, you had a question.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for organizing this. Awesome. I was, yeah, usually I'm registered with Sena in Holland, and I think in America you got something equivalent like BMI. Usually you report on ISRC codes, and then people that are part of the composition or music. I think with us it's the remix tree, right? Get a split according to split list.
Yes.
So how does that work? Is that something that's
That's a
tied
great-
in?
Yeah, so that's a
Or-
great question. So we automatically at MixterPlus, with our distributor, we automatically assign ISRC codes to every mix before we can add it to Content ID. We are working on a publishing arm as well. So we'll have to, if anyone is a member of a publishing professional rights organization in your country, please let us know. So that's really important information, Chef. Thank you so much for bringing this up. So if you are a member of a PRO in your country, please let us know so we can coordinate with our publishing arm. So that's one of our next projects that we're working on, because that's a whole section of unclaimed royalties that we can, as CC Mixter artists, are entitled to. In the United States, we're still very behind compared to countries like Germany and the Netherlands. So that's a work in progress, but super important. That's something we are offering to you, and we haven't launched it yet. So, but that it will be an offering to MixterPlus members, is to become a member of our publishing group. And then we will interface with ASCAP or BMI or whoever we end up working with. That might be easier because it's, as you know, when it's group copyright like this and liberal licensing, it's a little bit confusing to PROs. So we've been we had a lot of conversations with, oh my gosh, Jason, why can't I think of the name? CSAC. So we haven't chosen a PRO yet, because we want to make sure that they can accommodate all of our special needs, because we're not typical, we're creating in community and sharing our music in ways that aren't necessarily traditional. But yes, that is in the future. So Chef, important, and we'll coordinate behind the scenes. We'll take more questions at the end, but let's turn it over to the one and only SacJo22, who is, definitely creative direction here at CC Mixter, and helps take our music to communities outside of this one, like she did with Dreaming Together. And she's cooking up some exciting things in Mrs. Joseph's kitchen.
Okay, am I unmuted? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Kara, for all your hard work behind the scenes. And Matt, really, thank you. You're building our house for us. And Darren, for everything you've been doing, helping to monitor the site and keeping an eye out, and everybody for being here and contributing your music. Yes, the Dreaming Together event was spectacular. And just a quick update. The IASD sends out an evaluation to all the conference goers. Like, what was your favorite thing about the conference? The art show was the favorite thing at the conference. And we were such a big part of that. And we've been asked back. So that's really exciting. And it ties into the podcasts that I've started to do. So I love curating. I love putting your music together in packages that that at least resonate with me, and I hope they resonate with other people, right? Curation is like cooking. Everybody has their own taste buds for what they like. So I started doing the MixterPlus podcast, and the first one features the voices of the IAS streamers, because these curations are a way of helping us connect with other communities. And so the intention was to help just retain that connection with the IASD community. And I'm working on the next curation from the Dreaming Together library. There's so much good music. And that will feature your voices. And then on the docket is to do a curation featuring Tonys. And we'll see, right? I'm not really working on a timeline. So this is kind of the intention. And part of the fun part of the curations that I really enjoy is including your voice in bumpers. So if anyone wants to send me a, hi, this is your name here, and you're listening to the MixterPlus podcast, I would love to have you do that. Chef sent me some Cube 3, and I got one from Kara, one from Matt. But yeah, and if you want to include a short thing about, I like to share my music here, a little thing about you as an artist, that would be sweet to include too. So that is my podcast spiel. The podcasts right now are being shared on our YouTube channel. There's a tab on our channel specifically for podcasts. So it makes it easy to find and easy to share. I'll plug the link into the chat. So it makes it really easy to share. Right now, it's only available on YouTube because I've been technically challenged with setting up other distribution channels. But we're building the house, and the house gets built one step at a time. So anybody has any questions about the podcast, or I'm open to receive them. And thank you very much.
Yeah, I have not listened to it yet, but it's on my list for sure. You were trying to do it once a month, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We talked in meetings. We talked in meetings about giving Susan a break and passing it around and let other people do a podcast from time to time so that she's not swamped. But yeah, it's all good stuff. We've got many irons in the fire. Lots of social media just connections need to be made, especially as you heard, we're focusing on trying to get YouTube people, like all the channels, little channels, big channels, medium channel, whatever. Like, we want them to be aware of this library that's being built. So Kara's been just absolutely crushing it for years on that end, with some help from Jason as well. I think Jason and Epoxode are both kind of becoming sort of fill-in work for that sort of ambassadorial work to just like continue making these connections and let the flowers bloom, as they say. But yeah, we need absolutely every one of you, like whatever you focus on. I use the website formerly known as Twitter pretty often, but I don't have a lot of followers or anything, so I'm not going to make a huge impact. But yeah, just like you hear a good song on MixterPlus or see the video on MixterPlus YouTube channel and tweet it, whatever, Instagram, everyone chip in. Jason's going to tell us a little bit more about what he's working on in that regard. So you ready, Spinning Merkaba? You're on. I think you're on. Does someone need to unmute him?
I tried. Oh, I think I just ruined it.
Did we both mess it up?
I think we did. He unmuted and then somebody muted him. Sorry, Jay. Are you doing it? Should I?
Ant thinks this is hilarious. Welcome, Ant.
Hi, Ant. While we're figuring out how to, I think we might have accidentally locked Jason out of the meeting. While we're waiting for Jason to come back in, I just also wanted to thank Chef. Chef has really been a amazing to help keep our site free from bots and spiders. He and Matt have worked together, and also he maintains our backup server for making sure that everything is backed up. So in case some catastrophe happens, Chef has the key to backup keys to the car.
Yeah, some of you may have noticed it was sluggish a little bit. I think Friday and some Saturday morning there was bots happening. I think Stefan cracks me up because, like, for whatever reason, some of these bots like to come back, and there's like a specific MP3 by Stefan that they like to just spam download like 15 times a minute, 20 times a minute, and that's like one thing that is like random DDoS attacks. For I'll just always see this Jeff Speed 86 MP3 in the logs, and it's a big pain, but it's not his fault, obviously. But for whatever reason,
you're very popular, Stefan.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I'm just triggered by that Jeff Speed name now. Jason, looks like you made some progress. Talk
Can
to
you hear
us,
me?
brother man. Yeah.
Yay, Jason! Spinning Merkaba.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? So I'm talking. I guess I'm gonna. Can you hear me? No.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something. Okay. Maybe there. I think there's some delay in my connection. So I'll just be brief and say that content, quality, good quality content. We are the foundation of this next move, this next chapter in our story. And my job is to help tell that story to the world. And so what I'm inspired to say in this moment is create as much good quality content that you feel like uploading to MixterPlus as possible, because that's the story. And you're all part of it. You're part of it right now. We're creating the story right now. And people are going to watch this in the future, and they're also going to listen to this. So right now, I think the listening part is the most, obviously now and probably forever, the crucial part of this. And then we can tell that story to the world. We have all of our platforms set up. Right now, we're concentrating more on the internal, us and what we're, because we're here and we're going to start this thing. So the story is about us. It's about Matt and all the great work that he's done, Kara and Emily and Susan, and all of you all are here because of what you've contributed already. So let's start there, creating as much quality content as we can, as much great music. I just got a new guitar, so I'm inspired to play. And that's about it, really. Cool.
I just wanted to thank Jason for being our creative voice. Kara and I will be like, when we're trying to write a forum post, we'll be like, we need Jason because we're just so literal and like nerdy. And Jason's like super creative, and he comes up with just wonderful narrative and storytelling that enables us to share the story that is our Mixter realm, the realm of Mixter to the world. And thank you, Jason, for that. And he's rocking it on the social media platforms. And I'm sure as we grow this library, we'll continue to share what you're creating with other people in his super creative ways. It's so good to see your face, Richard. He's at the ocean. My goodness, how beautiful. Jay, you got anything else? Oh.
Yeah, I do. Just stay inspired and keep creating. And, I guess the other thing is that brand and marketing and social media and all that stuff is kind of a sticky, kind of weird topic. Some people like it, some people don't. It's hard for us as artists to promote ourselves. I know it's hard for me to promote myself. I oftentimes don't feel like doing it. And so, wherever you are on the spectrum with that, just go back to the root, which is to create as much great music as you possibly can and contribute it to the world. That's about it.
Love it.
Amen to
Speaking of staying inspired, does it look like you were about to play something for us, Jason, or no?
We
Guess
want those
not.
guitar noodles, Jason.
Yeah, maybe later. I'll
That makes a good outro. Maybe that's the outro.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
honestly
that's a
want
good
to.
outro.
I got to throw out a quick thank you to Jason too, because I've been doing like social media for some years, but the truth is like Emily said, I do write more like a yoga robot. You might think it is Chat GPT promoting, because I'm like edpic, blah blah blah. Like I'm very formulaic. How do you say that?
formulaic.
Formulate.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but that's how I write social media posts, because I just don't have that cool way of saying things like Jason Brock does. So I am so grateful and happy that he's taking the reins in the social media department. So I just want to say that publicly. So thank you, Jason.
Oh, no
Yeah.
problem. I mean,
Sure.
it's been absolutely amazing, all the work that you've done over the years, keeping all of the channels updated with great content, always picking the ed picks on, putting them on our feeds everywhere. So that's another way to, okay, I got one more thing. One more thing is the Mixterstation, right? The Mixterstation is something that is part of our legacy, and the channels of the Mixterstation have broadened dramatically since the beginning of CC Mixter. So showing care support is also liking the Twitter posts and liking the Instagram posts and commenting on the Facebook page. Wherever you are in that world, the more you say, hey, just kind of like what we do with reviews on the site, just kind of expand our footprint into the internet, out to our social media network, and like and recommend and continue the Mixterstation on all of those platforms. Patreon is another great one, right? So that's it.
I want to also, Jason, I want to thank Darren for really doing a lot of ed picks lately and on CC Mixter. Really appreciate that. And that will eventually become something we can do on MixterPlus as Matt's working like day and night to build this platform. In the meantime, if we have ways that we, in your review, just say, hey, in my mind, this is an ed pick, or give it a bunch of stars or something on MixterPlus. So eventually we can go and do that. But yeah, just the love that we show each other in these ways, that with our reviews, our comments, our encouragement. I know that as an artist, when I first came to CC Mixter, I was a horrible producer. And it was from the input that you all gave me in reviews that has helped me grow. And at MixterPlus, that's I think a next level for what we are capable of, because we have worked together for so long, and we have such a unique way of working together. I mean, I know you all. I know you, not because I've ever seen your faces. It's the first time I've ever seen Stefan's face. But I know you, Stefan, because I know your music. And to me, that is powerful. Excuse this. I guess I'm going to have a not safe for work. Apologies.
Demonetized.
I just got demonetized. But that creation, that connection that we have through the music is so incredible. Gary, your voice, Richard, your guitar playing, Martin, your bass playing, Haskell, it's like Dave, your poetry. There's so much power in what we do musically and the connection that we have. This next level of taking that Mixtersation, like Jason was saying, maybe another step. Somebody creates a remix and then we give each other another round of feedback. And how do we take CC Mixter, which was kind of like a bunch of just quick mixes and throwing them up onto the internet? Do we take it to a next level to even make what we create more professional, so it gets included in more videos? That's something to think of for the future. I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to now turn over this beautiful microphone to our very own Mwic, who I think we all just need to give a massive round of applause for building MixterPlus from the ground up and giving us this opportunity. I have just been so amazed by his attitude and all the hard work he's putting in because he believes in all of you. Mwic, show us what you're cooking up back there.
All right, yeah, eventually we do need to see what we've added because it's time to start. As of today, I think all this stuff is live. As you all know, there are issues and it's a beta and there will be workarounds for some things. And we appreciate all the feedback, of course. When you find bugs, let us know. But you guys are all super forgiving. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll see what's been added. That's hopefully going to make this soundtracks thing fly. Boing. Visible. All right. Nav items have changed a little bit. First thing is we've taken the Dreaming Together stuff and put that in a past events and playlists separate page. Here's our Patreon. Kind of stands out. I picked that color this morning. It's probably not the best color, but it stands out. So I'm happy with it for now.
I love it.
Okay, good. And this is the usual stuff. This is the new bit. Remember me should be working now. So we had some issues with people getting logged out after surfing around a little bit. This should work fine. You now land on a dashboard still being built out, but this is the gist of what we're drafting right now is got a little section of the latest things that have happened. I got some comments. Airtone, thank you. This will be your library of your uploads, just little links to your track pages for now. And this is my little placeholder for miscellaneous stuff that, we'll throw in who knows what later on. But yeah, I want a little dashboard landing to get you where you want to go pretty soon. But where you want to go first, of course, for the Soundtracks event is our brand new upload stems functionality. This was in our poll. It was far and away the number one vote getter in the poll of functionality that we needed. I'm pretty sure all of you were in the Dreaming Together event, but yeah, you had to do your stems over at CC Mixter, and then the remixes over here, but no more. Now we're uploading stems here. And it's going to seem somewhat familiar, but also somewhat unfamiliar on account of some changes we're making, especially to the way that tags and things like that work. We're using pre-selected tags that we did some research on just to try to make it more attractive. The tag inventory will change over time, probably have special set of tags for each event. But this is the gist of it. You tell us whether you're uploading a sample, a PEL, or a stem pack. Yes, your upload can be all three of these. If you have a stem pack that has samples and PELs in it, you can check all three of them and it'll appear in all the lists for those. Since I'm testing, we'll call this upload experimental. This is the Soundtracks event tag, which is pre-selected, checked for you by default. And we'll just do a little Mwic test with a very colorful description. And here's where we upload. Just got the standard sort of Google Drive drag and drop option. You can just click and select. Oh gosh, what should I do? I want to do something small so we don't sit around waiting for it to upload. Oh gosh. Oh, I'll just do this little screenshot. Perfect. It spins. You get a little message, file uploaded successfully. You are good to go. Your thing you uploaded appears right here above the save button. And you go to page 2. Now, depending on the tags you chose in the first page, you get a whole set of second level tags. These are called child tags. So the experimental tag triggers this little box that prompts you to be more specific if you want. All of this second level stuff is optional. Success means success. Your track is ready and it's there. And this is just additional stuff that we are going to use to help people find your music quickly. But yeah, the upload is live. It's ready. It's called Mwic test. And I'll get back to that in a sec. We'll just scan through the different sections of secondary tags. Again, child tags of any top level tags that you selected. Instruments used. This always appears regardless of what tags you pick. Genres, styles, whatever you want to call them. And moods. So these are important, especially for the Soundtracks event, because people looking for music might be looking for things like funny, intense, romantic. You can see how we're deliberately designing our tag inventory to go after that YouTube audience. Any questions so far? All right. No questions so far. I'll keep going. Yeah. The
Oh, I got one.
Oh, we got one. Okay.
Yeah, I did have one, which I noticed you just uploaded a JPEG, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
used to have to put in an audio file. So what's up? No restrictions. We should be careful, or you're planning.
There's
on
no
having
restrictions. I think 50 megabytes is the limit, but we're all
Still,
friends here.
okay.
Just don't don't upload your full, AI bot friend, in a zip file. But yeah, there's basically no restrictions now. We might have to close it down later if people get crazy on that. But yeah,
Okay. Well, just good to know.
Easiest possible thing was just to allow us to do what we want. So that's what
I'd
I'm
say
doing. Right
our best practices though, is to follow what we all do at CC Mixter. So please
Sure.
upload a 128K MP3 as your preview, and then you can upload your stems in FLAC. I believe we can accept WAV now as well, but we prefer FLAC on the database side. It's, takes up less space.
Yeah.
So MP3, 128K MP3 preview, and then your lossless version supporting files as FLAC files. And then Matt is going to show you, because there is a special requirement on how to do that. And Cube3 has a question.
Yep.
Do you want to show us the preview thing first, and then we'll take, or do you want to take?
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead with Chef. I don't want to get too far away from the topic somebody wants to ask about. So go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, for me personally, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. For me personally, I wouldn't mind if it was just limited to FLAC, because it's very easy to do these days. And it really saves a ton, because when you are uploading an entire stem and part in the sequencer has no audio in that stem, WAV file will not compress it. So sometimes when you have 40 or 50 megabytes, like on a 3-minute WAV file, it might be 1.6 megabytes on a FLAC. So I think,
yeah, absolutely prefer that.
So I don't know, maybe should ask the members, but I doubted that anybody these days would have a problem with FLACking it. And it will save like a tremendous amount of storage.
Yeah, and of course, you managing the backup server, see how important that is. As an industry, or as a CC Mixter standard, we've had FLAC. We've never done, really, very few people have done waves. I think pretty much, everybody here is like pretty accustomed to adding FLAC files as their lossless version. Having a lossless version of your mix is going to be more important, because MixterPlus is a premier library. So we still need that 128K preview for easy streaming, but to upload a lossless version of your mix is also important as a FLAC file.
Something else to note, is it true, Matt, that FLAC files will automatically have a player next to them, but WAV files will not? Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
our little players that appear, they're just kind of your basic HTML audio tag, and I don't think it likes waves.
So MP3 and FLAC is going to get you a player, which really is going to help everyone access and play with your music more. The other thing to note, which is a change for me, because this is something I used to do on CC Mixter, is on MixterPlus, it's going to be better to not zip things and to instead upload each sample. Say I'm doing a sample.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that now.
Yeah, boom. Okay.
So the second most requested thing after uploading stems was being able to add files to tracks easily. I think we were having to do this via email or something horrendous like that when we did trimming together. So now we have, when you go to the edit page for your track, there's your basic info you can edit, and we now have a files editor. It looks the same as your uploading thing. Drag and drop. You can see we have one file right now. It's the screenshot. It's called preview. You need a file named preview. It needs to be an MP3 to actually show up in a player or a playlist. Here's the playlist. All right. So it's displaying that, and it thinks it has a preview, but this is not going to play anything because, of course, that's a JPEG. Anyway, yeah, you can drag and drop more files in here. Give your stems nicknames. Prefer names of instruments that were used in the stems. You kind of know the drill. But yeah, you do not want to upload full zips, and it does not unzip and distribute, the files around on the server anymore. You're going to drag and drop the things that you would ordinarily zip up, drag them in here. And then, yeah, you would give them nicknames. I guess I can go ahead and do a practice on that. Let me find a small one. I'll do this. 4 megabytes shouldn't hurt me too bad. Oh, we got a message here. Allow about 10 seconds per megabyte. That's supposed to be a conservative estimate.
Thanks, Martin, for dropping in. So good to see you.
I need to see if some error occurred here. Nope, it's just taking forever. I should have done another small one. There it is. Yay. Okay, that took way too long. I might have to look into that. Upload it. Now my new one is here. It's ready to be nicknamed. Short Nick. Actually, we'll say this is the guitar part. Just hit save your nicknames. Nicknames updated, and you're good.
One thing just to interject about nicknames, what you name your stems is really important for the future. Because our search results that Matt has been building, so when people come to look for stems, if they search and your nickname is guitar or percussion or xylophone, that will bring it up in search results. So people, and it will, the way that Matt has organized this, it will actually bring them right to that. It anchors to that stem in search results. So what you're
trying to make me show it, aren't you? It was supposed to be top secret because it was brand new. Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
I don't think I'm going to show it yet because people might hammer at it and mess it up. But yes, we do have basically a tag search function that will list the uploads that are tagged with, for example, guitar, but then it will also search down into stems. Any stems that are nicknamed guitar will come up in the results, and it'll be like a playlist, and you can like preview and listen to all the guitar bits that are in the site. Chef, go.
Yeah. So with soundtrack event, when you do a reasonable soundtrack, you often have more than 24 tracks, sometimes 48, sometimes 96, when you have all the instruments separately, like
Right.
viola, violin, cembalo, all kinds of instruments.
So you want to skip it, don't you?
Well, no, I'm just talking about a workflow here that I do to see if we can think about something, not for now, but maybe for an upcoming version. Is that usually when I export my stems, the flags that are exported are already named accordingly to the track, as you know, in the sequencer. Could there be a way that you just honor the file name and of the flag, and then cut off the flag extension, which is then your nickname, and then maybe later on do like multiple files at once, like all 24 or 48? Because the manual naming again is a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Just kind of pre-populate those nicknames based on the file, and let people edit if it's not right. But yeah, load in the file. That's a good idea. I'll put that on my list.
Also, I think how it's working, and correct me, Matt, right now we're asking people first upload the MP3 preview. And right now we still need you to go in and name it preview and then upload all the supporting stems. You're lost.
I think if you do an MP3 upload on that upload stems form, it should automatically get the nickname preview when it comes from that form. So you won't have, you saw the one I did, it called my JPEG a preview. So it'll attach preview to whatever you upload, whatever MP3 you upload on that first step, and then edit files. Yeah, I think we need to like pre-populate the nicknames for those files with the file names that were dragged in. That's a very good idea, and it's now on my list. Because I know a lot of people, probably, especially this group here, like uploads a lot of stems, and it could be a big time saver. So yeah, we'll get on that. It's good request. Let me see, what else did I need to look at real quick? We're not in the sort of remix focus phase, but we will be. So I'll share another highly requested bit of functionality, which is now that MixterPlus library is getting big, when you're uploading a remix and you get all the sources, these, by the way, Dreaming Together sources are available for use in this library. So it's like full on, this is a new library. You can use all this old stuff from previous events. But you can probably see the problem already, which is that you need to be able to filter your sources, basically search. So you can filter for Mwic, you can filter for Cube. All right. It's just a little live filter to get this sources list manageable. Might need to maybe add guitar filters or stem or tag based or instrument based filters as well. But for now, you can just text search, text filter this by typing stuff into here. Yeah, anything you type in there should work. And yeah, that'll make it a little easier when we get to remixing. And that's all from my list. I'm going to put in the shared Google Doc because our bug report spreadsheet is the one that we're using to prioritize what people are seeing when they encounter issues. And that's like best way to get in touch with us. Just put a line in that spreadsheet. Everyone here should have access to edit it. I think it's based on the Google group, MixterPlus Google group that we've been emailing and so on. So that should set you all up to at least start kicking the tires. Any more? I don't see anyone's hand raised, and I don't see any questions in the chat. Oh, there's a hand from you-know-who.
Receiving you, asking you shall receive. So the upload I did for the cook, actually, there's a little present in there. I don't know if you can do something with it, Mwic, but as you write soundtracks, you will not have a fixed BPM, beats per minute, because you're writing for screen, right? So you will actually gradually moving towards different BPMs or start BPM changes in and out on certain measures. So in the zip files I uploaded, there is a MIDI file included, and that MIDI file shows the BPMs on the time tracks. It's a lot to ask, of course, to extract MIDI. I think you're working in PHP. I'm in C#, so I can't help you, but maybe I can write a command line tool or something. Because if we could extract it, then people know when they take the stem that the BPM is not steady, as it is with almost all soundtracks.
Yeah. So yeah, my note on the BPM field right now is just if it's rubato or varying or just put a 0 in BPM and it's just not findable by BPM. But I like the idea of a tool. If the DAWs typically when they export, like you have just like XML formatted metadata that you could extract the BPM from things from. Is that what you were thinking as far as a command line tool?
No, just reading the MIDI file format, because you can export it as MID file, MID, which is industry standard, not
which is almost like and then it'll just have BPM.
Yeah, you just have a MIDI tempo map, right? So that's when the tempo map is a MIDI file. You drop it into your session, then it actually maps that into your session that matches your stems.
Yeah, it could also be an upload option. You don't really need to write a reader for it. You don't need to write a reader for it, but that people know that you uploaded a MID file with it, like maybe downloadable. Now it's part of the zip file because you're not allowed yet to upload certain extensions. But then, like if there's a tempo map, you put like what you do with preview or with stem, maybe have a tempo map category there that already lets people find that it's a dynamic BPM track.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'd advise, try and break that idea down into like 2 or 3 little tasks and just put them in the bug report. The bug report is also kind of brainstorming ideas and functionality requests. So pretend those are bugs and just kind of describe like the 2 or 3 steps, that you would picture happening and
Go ahead, Stefan.
How we can do with those files.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Sorry.
Please
Sorry, I know it from my Steinberg. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know it from my Steinberg Cubase. It's got a tempo file included. And I know you guys, you use a lot of Cubase. Maybe I can lay down a Cubase file so you can import it to see the tempo changes.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of depends on like, it's like demand, supply and demand, right? If it turns out that we've got 8 or 9 active, like, users using that format, we can start building tools and, stuff, making their workflow easier on the site, because we're like, oh yeah, it's easy to read this format. So we can add bits of data, when things are uploaded in this format. So yeah, that's what I was kind of asking Chef to, sort of help out and like breaking it down into steps, be like, well, what can we easily get? And then it's a matter of, well, how many people are doing that, right? If there's 2, it's different than if there's 15. So yeah, we'll certainly make it easy on people when there's, enough people doing similar kinds of things that, new functionality
So
development would help a lot of people.
for me, it's not a problem to write it down in the typing version. So that's a thing I can do with the add to the file and set at which time the tempo changed.
Right.
If you can export it as a MIDI file, you just create a MIDI file and export that, and just export the tempo as a map. I've been doing that a lot with because I'm producing a musical, and we all have a different DAW. So I have Pro Tools, somebody else has Logic, somebody else has Digital Performer. And so we've just been sharing tempo maps by exporting as a MIDI file. And then any DAW can read that, and it creates the tempo map in your session, which is the most helpful, because then it's interoperability, which is something we strive for.
Exactly. Yeah, I would definitely gravitate toward formats that are essentially text-based, and MIDI is, so once you've got straightforward text-based formats that don't need special software to read, you can do pretty much anything server side. So Chef's got more advice, I think, on that topic.
Yeah, I wanted to also, just because Aunt had a question.
Okay.
And then we'll get to you, Chef.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hold on a second. Bada-bim, bada-boom.
You don't have video, or are you actually an ant and we just can't see you?
Trying to get the video up. I don't know. Oh,
hey!
There we go. Hey. All right. Sorry, guys, for being late. I was a bit of a hectic journey, but I'm here.
It's great to have you.
Okay, so my question is, I missed the part where what's this soundtrack event? What's it all about?
Who wants to do the 1-minute version? You want to go, Emily?
So we are creating music that could be specifically used as a soundtrack in someone's film or video, which is, of course, your expertise. So you should be rocking this event. We're creating scores. So
Okay.
I actually uploaded a Pell. This isn't like a Pell-centric event, but with the idea of score this. So we're creating soundtracks that we are going to promote for other video makers to use in their videos on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, this is right in your alley.
Very much.
There's a forum thread that Jason linked, I believe, over in the chat. So if we want some back and forth and questions about like more sort of follow up about why it's important to do this kind of event now and how it's going to help sort of build our community in the future, we'll chat about it there. Of course, we're going to record this video and you can watch the first 10 minutes again, I guess we'll be on just the MixterPlus YouTube channel after we cut it up. We'll have this Zoom call so you can catch up. Let's go back to Chef.
Thank you. Yeah, so and indeed, Stefan, Cubase and Reaper, DAWs and Ableton, they all should support export to MIDI. Now, if you don't have a MIDI file or you don't want to export a MIDI file, you can add a new track lane. Just put an empty MIDI lane in there, a MIDI item from the length of your video, from your music, and then when you export that MIDI track, the timestamp should be in there. And the question is if it also supports gradual tempo changes, which means that you have an envelope going from like 90 to 100 BPM. But Stefan wants to say something.
It might be cool to have that be like next to the BPM input, instead of a regular file like one of your stems, like next to the BPM field, it says if you're, a variable tempo, upload, either a text description of the tempo changes or an actual, MIDI tempo track, like have a separate uploading option for people who want to like put that specific info in there.
So I try it out after the session with my Cubase to create such a file. Sorry?
Thank you, Stefan. Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah, then we can take a look at it if it works.
Yeah, maybe we could, like, several of us could sort of collaborate on a how-to, just for people who use that same process. Like we just have a little step-by-step process. This is how to set it up so that MixterPlus correctly gets all the data.
I believe we have a question from Mr. Yesterday.
Need some water.
Yeah, let's see here. This is kind of an old question for me, but I haven't posed it much. We tend to have, I think it's pretty early on when you start using Mixter, one of the rules, kind of a soft rule. One of the rules is don't remix yourself. That is interesting in this context. As Emily mentioned my poetry, but usually what I submit is a pelt, very often to something I've written. It's usually performed to something, let's call it rudimentary. Interesting thing about a cappella is that your timbral quality influences the key you appear to be singing in from the vantage point of the remixer. And I very often encounter listening to a really great remix submitted by somebody, and I think, it's interesting. They thought it was in this key, which it wasn't. But if I could just re-perform it over this, I think it'd really be hot. I'd love to do that, but the rules say you don't do that. So in this context, it seems to me, we're trying to come up, and it fits right in with the meter and the beat and the cadence here. These are all variables, but in the end, if you really want to have a ready-to-use soundtrack, you're going to want it to be spot on. Can we consider relaxing the rule, or perhaps discussing how we might work with it? How could we collaborate a little more closely? Because I often think, if I could just go back and overdub, that would be great. And I don't want to tick off the person who did the remix. I think they did a fantastic job, but geez, I wouldn't have sung a D sharp there if I'd known. Anyway,
this is a really great point, Dave. And this is one of the things that we really do want to add to the MixterPlus community is that next level. So first of all, everyone's encouraged when you do remix a vocal to upload the instrumental.
Stems.
Add your stems.
Really important. If you don't have stems, you can't do it.
Yeah, so your stems and your instrumental. So if somebody, remixception. So you could I feel that way all the time. I hear a remix, I'm like, if I could
I can't imagine.
If I could re-sing that, then it would sound better because I would fix some of my vocalizations. And that's the next level of the mixversation, which we want to have happen here. And there are a lot of times when I would like to have some feedback on mixing, like Stefan, you could give me some feedback, or Darren, on, like, hey, if did you know your reverb's all panned to the middle, or those kinds of things. So we have a next level of our mixes. So the first one we throw up, we're open to feedback. And if you want, and we've even talked about, I'm open to feedback, because not everybody wants it. Some people get triggered by that. Some people take it personally. But if you want that, and if you're open to that, we encourage that. So yeah, as far as a standard key, I see stuff, and we'll get to in 1 second. When we do record PELs, it's important to actually sing it in a real key.
One does try.
Yes, but sometimes I don't realize I'm actually singing in between tones. So before you record something, have some sort of guide, oh, I'm actually in C or D, not in between C and D. And these are all things that we're going to improve on together. And so that's great feedback. Yes.
Stefan's up.
Stefan.
So when I do a remix, I often upload the instrumental part 2, and so the singer can prefer it new. So that's not forbidden, or?
Yes, that's encouraged. Yes, so we want, if you remix the PEL I just uploaded last night, if you create a mix, we're starting to call them mixes instead of remixes, because the world at large thinks a remix means you've remixed Rihanna or Beyonce, and that's not what we're doing. We're producing music, so we're using one another's stems. And so we're calling it mix now. So we're trying to change that vocabulary, but it's equivalent to what we are used to a remix. But yes, if you mix my PEL, please upload the instrumental so we have that soundtrack so someone else can record to it, or I can change the way my timing fits with your soundtrack so we continue that mixversation. Mix my cat. Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, sorry,
yes. So I always try to upload the instrument track, and it's not so much work. So when your voice don't fit exactly to my mix, I have to pitch it up, I have to pitch it down, I have to slow it. Or it's easier for me to upload instrument track, and the singer can sing it new.
Absolutely. And
can perform it new.
Exactly.
Totally. Another reason why uploading an instrumental track with your full mix is, for soundtracks, a lot of times people just want that chorus in their video. So they want everything else to be instrumental, right? So it really does lend itself for what we're working for, which is making this accessible to content creators, right? So yes, you're doing it perfectly, Stefan. I mean, that's exactly what is going to be helpful for singers and for content creators. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so very good ideas here. I was triggered by the remark about that you might want to have somebody sing it in a different key. Could also be on your piece, or you start to recompose it and you think, well, it sounds better in a lower key because of the, I know, sounds you're using, or the feel of and the vibe of the song. Something that we have been missing, I think, on Mixter is, or on CC Mixter, which might be interesting for MixterPlus, is to request what you might need on your composition. So like, say I make a drum track, I'd like to have a bassist playing on the drum track, that sort of thing. So more like a question and answer thing, rather than just putting it out there and then waiting for somebody to do something with it.
Yeah, my friend, we are dreaming together for sure, because Emily and I have talked about this kind of stuff. Like, the sky is the limit in terms of we talked just yesterday about the idea, since we're doing soundtracks, people with videos could upload videos to MixterPlus and say, I need this video to have a score. I need some music for this video. And just like it appears on MixterPlus, hey, someone go at it. I need a bass line for this. Like, we want all of it eventually, so yeah, definitely consider that like already something that's being brainstormed. It's just kind of a matter of when. Susan.
Yeah, I just want to yes and this whole aspect of the conversation, because what's emerging organically for our community is a creative collaborative process, right?
Exactly.
We started with remixing, and what's emerged for our community is we're creating together. And everything that everybody is saying is just bringing this the collaborative nature of what we're already doing into a new level of our intention as creators. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, it's very much like one of the great things about kind of the structure of this like big development project is how fast the feedback loop is, because people comment immediately. You do an event, the Dreaming Together event, we got 130 something uploads. We expected maybe half of that. I mean, that just blew us out of the water. And when you have this quick feedback loop, it allows you to see what problems people are having and respond to them and adjust. And if the thing that bothered you today bothers someone else again tomorrow, and someone else again the day after tomorrow, like it becomes like, front and center, it becomes, things bubble up very quickly to the top when we circle around like that so often. So yeah, like someone who like wants to put out a request for a specific part for a specific, rhythm or something that like Chef was talking about, like it's just a matter of how many times, somebody wants that. And the more, the more often people want it, the faster it gets done. I mean, even the code base has been like, I'm sort of evolving a sort of MVC, custom MVC framework out of it. But mostly what I'm doing is just building off little one-off scripts and components that solve like a specific, like very small thing. And it's like, I'm learning how to craft sort of the larger architecture by monitoring real usage of it.
Speaking of, I'd like to, at this point, if anybody, we are looking for some support for Matt. Obviously, Chef's already doing backup server and has helped a lot on the Portainer setup. We do need some additional help. If you know somebody or if you are capable, we need some help with React, because Dig is an important way that people find our music, Dig CC Mixter, and we want to find ways on Dig to send people to MixterPlus eventually. So we are encouraging people to use the MixterPlus library, since we can retain our attribution there. So if you know anybody who's a React developer, that would be great. And then also we need a little bit of help on porting CC Mixter to an updated, Matt, maybe you should explain this because it's your language. I know Nico's not here, but I know Nico has some DevOps type experience. But yeah, we need some people to kind of help with a large migration we want to do before the end of the year, because the CC Mixter website is on very, very old operating system and web server, and you can't like get the sort of most modern tools and best practices in place on such an old server. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So we are going to need someone with maybe Docker or Portainer experience who can, deploy servers with modern operating systems. And in particular, we want to use certbot and Let's Encrypt to do our own SSL certificates so that everything's always encrypted and we don't have a big bill for it. So yeah, all this stuff that can be done can only be done on sort of more modern operating systems. So, I played around with it a little bit from time to time, but we really need like any help that anyone's got in terms of sysadmin type stuff or DevOps would be fantastic. Or if you know someone, email them. I know Admiral Bob is here. Is he still here? He had to sign off.
Oh, he had to go. I think Admiral Bob's got some experience in that. I know a couple of you do. I know you do. So yeah, stick your head up above the water in between your musical sessions, and yeah, we'll find work for you to do. That's for sure.
And I also, just thanks again to Matt and Chef for all you've already done. And couple other things before, because we wanted to try to keep this at an hour and a half. So we're going to try to wrap here. But just before we go, I wanted to, the two people who haven't said anything yet, Darren and Gary, I wanted to first maybe give Gary the chance to speak first, since it's like, what, 4 a.m. there in Sydney. And, you know, you made a huge super effort to be with us. So just thought I'd give you the mic just to, so we can hear your voice with the face, because we all know your voice so well. And David.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yay!
Okay, no, I was blocked from. I was forced muted there. But yeah, it is early here. But that's okay. It just means I get out of bed about 3 hours earlier, which is all good. But I've been a little bit slow to the party with CC Plus. I don't know if anyone knew. I had a bit of a heart problem earlier in the year, and yeah, so I was sort of a little bit unwell. So I'm back on track now. So all good. But that's why I've been a little bit sort of not present at CC Mixter a little bit lately compared to what I have been for the last decade, if you know what I mean. But it's all good. But yeah, no, really, really keen to contribute to CC Plus. But yeah, thank you.
Gary, I didn't know, and I apologize that I didn't know, and I'm so happy to hear you're doing better. And please take care of yourself. You know, your voice is an extremely important part of our community. Your songwriting, your lyrics, your performances, your remixes. You know, you're definitely one of the most remixed artists in our community. And so happy you're feeling better. And it's great to see your face. And thanks for making the monstrous effort to be here at this ungodly hour. Darren wanted to just thank y'all. Darren, I gotta just give Darren a little bit of kudos here. So he's like the keeper of copyright infringement monitoring, which is extremely important for us. Somehow we can send him like a list of 20 tracks and he can recognize, oh yeah, that's a drum loop from the Beastie Boys that was very sped. I mean, I don't know, he's got like some massive superpower. Or when someone else is illegally claiming to own our content, like an album, he'll be able to go in and listen to every single one and match it with the upload at CC Mixter. It's an incredible gift. We are very, very lucky to have him, and just want to give him a chance to say hello in his freaking awesome MixterPlus shirt.
You sure he's not an AI?
Yeah.
No.
He's smarter. He's smarter than the AI content ID.
True. Totally true.
Okay, so am I live? Let's see.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, it's new. I was just sort of a spectator. I don't mind stepping in and saying hello. Absolutely. This is awesome.
When you wear that shirt, you know the teacher's going to call on you.
Yeah, right on. I'll wear it more often. Love it. It's very comfortable. Breathes and all that. But yeah, what was the question?
I wanted you to say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And we look forward to, you've already uploaded, you've kept uploading at MixterPlus while the rest of us were sweeping the floor and mopping. So thank you. And we look forward to, I'm sure, what are going to be incredible mixes and sample packs from you for this event.
Right on, yeah, definitely.
And then we have David here. I just assumed that was also you, Dave. I thought you were in here twice, but I don't know who David is. Hello?
Mystery guest.
Oh, hello.
Hey!
This is Bernard Hermiet.
Oh, Bernard Hermiet.
Hey, aloha!
Hello.
It's so nice to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to see you guys as well.
I don't know if you have any words of wisdom for us or you want to share it, but we sure do love your music. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It makes me so emotional. I always cry on Zoom. To see your faces, because like I said, I know you through your music. And when I try to explain to people about CC Mixter and our secret sauce, it's like, we have never emailed, we've never texted, we've never seen each other, but we know each other through our music. We each have this sound that I feel like it bypasses all that. It's a layer deeper than all of these things, is the way that we know each other. And I don't think there's anything like it. I've never found anything else like it on the internet. And we're really, really lucky. And we don't take it for granted. And we're really honored that we get to help facilitate this kind of collaboration. I just want to, as we wrap, say thank you to all of you for sharing your incredible talent. You know, as I look at each of you, you are all off the charts talented. How lucky we are that you're not hugely famous and charging millions of dollars for your work, because we would never be able to afford you. But hopefully this project will bring in a little bit of value. And that's one of the things that Kara and I have been working on, as far as what we attract to ourselves and put out into the world, is what you each create is valuable. It's very valuable to us on many, many levels. And it's our work that we want to try to attract more value, the value you deserve for your incredible talent and creativity. And we're just grateful to help create a platform where you can share it. And looking forward to creating together for this next event on Soundtrack. So please join us at MixterPlus. If you have any questions, any bugs, you know how to reach us. Email us at admin, email us individually, put your bugs in the report that Matt shared. Check out the forum post that Jason wrote. Visit the Patreon page that Kara set up. Send a bumper to Susan that she can include in her podcast about MixterPlus. And then, of course, we'll see you all on the internets, and we'll continue the mixversation, and we'll see where we go next. It's always a mystery and an adventure. Mahalo nui loa from Kauai, and we'll see you all soon.
All right. Thank you, Emily.
Aloha, ahui ho.